So there you go, juicy tender chicken, nicely crunchy cooked broccoli. So that's chicken and broccoli, Chinese style made. Very easy to knock together. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing chicken and broccoli. We're doing a Chinese. It's easy, it's quick. You get your broccoli and you get your protein. Now if you don't like chicken, use tofu, use anything you want, it's up to you. However, you will not be velveting the tofu like we are going to velvet the chicken. Easy to do, come on here, I've got some garlic. We're just going to give it a mashing, the usual, you know. So just give it a squidging up and then a mashing. And then chop it fine or as big as you like. You know the drill. Well, that is good enough for me. In there. Ginger I've already julienne just to make it a little bit easier. And we want to take some broccoli. Of course we do. It's a broccoli dish. Now all we're going to do is take the florets. Now here we would use the stalks as well, so we're going to put them in. Big or small as you like, entirely up to you. There you go, we got a whole pile of broccoli there, look. And we're going to take a bowl and we're just going to chuck that broccoli in there. Okay. Right, for us here, we always use the stalks. Okay, but it's up to you. You don't have to use the stalks if you don't want. So I got this lovely broccoli going on there, look, with the stalks, beautiful. One side, chicken. I've got 1.5 chicken breasts, look, they're tiny these. So we're just going to cut these on an angle. Okay, we're going to make them look bigger. So it's just nice and steady, just slice up your chicken. As big or as small as you like. So a little bit of a marinade going on for this chicken. It's very straightforward, this one. Want a little bit of light soy sauce. Want a little bit of oyster sauce. Want some sugar. Want some baking soda. The baking soda is going to velvet and soften the chicken. A little bit of white pepper. Want a little bit of cooking wine. This is show scene wine. Some water. And some corn flour. Or corn starch. There you go. Quite a lot there, but don't worry about it. Get it all mixed in. So this one is not forming a batter as such. The corn flour, corn starch on there will help it thicken a little bit in the cooking process and hold in the moisture. There you go. Just leave that for about 15 minutes. 15 minutes for the baking soda to do its job. So okay, we want to make up a little sauce. Dark soy sauce. We're going to go oyster sauce. And we're going to go a little bit of sugar. Something like that. We're going to give that a mix. And that is our sauce. Okay, come on, let's get cooking. A little bit of oil of choice in there. This is rice bran oil. There you go. Flame on. Warm up your pan. And we're going to chuck our broccoli in there. Well, we're going to chuck the ginger in first and then we'll chuck the broccoli in. Want to stir fry some aromatic into the oil. Then we'll chuck the broccoli in. Now it doesn't have to be too hot for this to start off with. Get some water ready. We're going to chuck some water in. Okay, that should be warm enough. In there with a little bit of ginger. Now you can use ginger slicers. I prefer julienne in the ginger. It just sits round everything, you know. So put a little bit of a sizzle on there. Not too hot. We don't need it hot for this bit. And we're going in there with our broccoli. Give the broccoli a little stir. Put that oil and that aromatics and that ginger around it all. Now it's a nice straightforward one this. You don't rush it. A little bit of salt. That's going to draw some of that moisture out. And we want to go in with a little bit of sugar. You don't have to go much with the sugar. It's a steady one. Don't rush it. No high flame. In there with a splash of water. So what we're doing, we're blanching this in here and we're going to take it out. I'm going to hit that with a little bit of cooking wine just for flavour. Now you could have put the cooking wine in before the water, it doesn't matter. This water is going to cook off, the broccoli is going to come out. Still going to have the flavour on there. The cooking wine is Shosin wine, Chinese wine. The thing is, we don't want to colour up too much brown on the broccoli. Now if you're working in a takeaway or a restaurant, you blanch this in water and then chuck it back in the pan with a little bit of Shosin wine, take it out. Okay, let's just turn that flame off a second. We're going to take that broccoli out back into the bowl. Okay, so that broccoli comes out into there. You take a lid or a pan thing, whatever, and you cover it. Cover it up. Put it on one side. That is steaming in there. That will have a crunchy broccoli, but it will be cooked. Now you can do it another way around. You can put a lid on here and cook your broccoli with a lid on, but I prefer to do it this way because it's got to come out anyway. Right, want a little bit of oil in there. Okay, and we want to be going in there with our chicken. Nice little cook on your chicken. A little bit of colour on there. Don't worry about the corn starch on there, look. That might put a little bit of a crusty on, that doesn't matter. Make sure you turn your chicken over. We want to make sure the chicken is a good 80% cooked. In there with your garlic. Just cook out the rawness of the garlic. Now flame doesn't have to be too high for this. Nice and steady. I'm going to put some lovely garlic aromatic flavour on that chicken. Fabulous. So we want to be going in there with our sauce. Try and get the chicken all the same colour. Fabulous. There you go. That's nice and steady. In there with our water. That's going to thicken a little bit and give us our sauce. Nice and gently does it. Nice and gently. See, the thing is with this, the corn flour that's actually on, or cornstarch, whatever you are, that's on the chicken is going to give us a nice sauce. I mean, come on, that looks beautiful. Now you can be a little bit of a devil and just a little dobbing of some wine in there. Put that winey flavour in. Now if you're going to use sesame oil, just go in with a little couple of drops, just to put that hint of nuttiness in there and not strong. We take our broccoli, we throw that back in there. We turn off the flame, we stir it all in, like that, and we serve it up with a shake of white pepper. And that is chicken and broccoli cooked. And that is just plain sailing cooking. There you go. Look at that. That is sensational. So just a quick shake of white pepper. But don't forget that's optional. You might not like white pepper. But you know, it's traditionally chucked on by everyone. There you go. Come on, let's serve this up. Come on, straight on there. There we go, a quick easy one, chicken and broccoli. That is so straightforward. No reason to go out and buy. Look at that. Come on, we're in. Chicken. Look at this. Tender that chicken is. Velveted properly. There you go. Oh yeah. And our broccoli has still got some resistance to the stems. The floret itself is very, very soft, but the stem still has a crunch. Oh yeah. A little bit sweet. Obviously that's the sugar, the cooking wine, and the ginger flavour in there. It's delicious. This chicken is just melt in your mouth to die for. It's so tender. It's so juicy, look. Look at that in there. Beautiful. So there you go, juicy tender chicken, nicely crunchy cooked broccoli. So that's chicken and broccoli, Chinese style made. Very easy to knock together. If you like what we're doing, don't forget to share with your friends. Tell your friends how easy it is to make chicken and broccoli. And if you do like what we're doing, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and we'll catch you in the next video.